Good morning, everyone. This is Mandalorian Consultancy Group. Today, we are going to present the case to Startup Amsterdam. Um, Moving on to the first slide. Amsterdam is the center for the European technology startup and talent required for success. Startup Amsterdam was launched to help the local Dutch's economic system, and it supports over 40 technological innovation initiatives and offer talent, local resources, and capitals through entrepreneurship. Moving on to the second slide of this, we have categorized into three categories. First one is services offered and services type and services analysis. So the service that they offer is provide capital. It comes under financial. They provide soft loans, which is lesser than the market interest. People who are for entrepreneurs who are have the ideas, innovative, and address the local and sustainable smart city development. Moving on to the second one, investment mentorship. It's a strategic management. It tends to train and equip upcoming entrepreneurs, citizens, business communities to how to benefit from the innovation ideas economically. Moving on to the third point, technologically talented. It is a strategic operational innovation service which the hub is responsible for providing technological skills, innovating and scaling up small to medium enterprises through robotization, artificial intelligence, which is AI. And the fourth point is access to market, which is comes down to marketing. It helps the citizens and entrepreneur business communities gain access to global marketing by facilitating collaboration. Strategic development of initiative strategic, which comes under strategic operations. It is as a test bed. We are working with relevant authorities, strategy space for development and growth, various business. And the final point is stimulate network connection, which comes under marketing. It links to entrepreneur, citizen, business to relevant and profitable connect by encouraging interaction and community building. I will be passing the next slides for Hemant.
So I am here to present to the topic Startup Amsterdam Hub strengths of the there is sufficient financial support, more support for market growth, room for expansion of entrepreneur reservoir, and Startup Amsterdam strength as well entails taking care of starters. So coming to the sufficient financial support, the young funds to support the new business through government grants and local investment financial support is as well provided by the tax facilities. So coming to the more support for market growth. So the hub is supported by Amsterdam provided an innovative agency and organizing internal and domestic activities that together companies that support to the technology which is creative like industry, health, and life science. So coming to the room for expansion of entrepreneur reservoir. So Amsterdam Hub has a great chance to expand its entrepreneur reservoir by the young people, women with the migration backgrounds of the welcome programs and attract the talent from the global context. And coming to the startup Amsterdam strength as well entail taking care of starters. So it is the ensuring that they are becoming valued companies as they are continuously approved by the registered by the Chamber of Commerce. So coming to the weakness, we have focus only on the global market, has sufficient talent, has insufficient growth potential, has poor knowledge success. So coming to the focus only on the global market. In Startup Amsterdam, there is a main focus on the global market. There favor in the initiates get by the local environment. So in insufficient talent, there is a number of quality technology by the students that's resulting like a salary cost and high vacancies. So coming to the insufficient growth potential, the main Amsterdam has a limited reservoir for the entrepreneur who has a skilled and experienced growth potential. So coming to the has poor knowledge success, there is a experienced high number of quality of an unsatisfactory life science of patients in the Amsterdam. So next slides are coming to will be shared by my friend Leela.
Thank you, Hemant. Next, I will be explaining on the successful startup hubs. According to Guerini, the startup hubs are being developed globally. environment for technology and information sharing, where startups are actually responsible for creating an environment that encourage information sharing among the entrepreneurs, venture capital investors, and corporation. Next will be a vibrant ecosystem is for various startup founders is also created through a startup hub. Innovation for foster entrepreneurial creative. Innovation also plays a critical role in encouraging creative among the next generation. Facts to consider. The critical factors of a successful startup hub includes an available talent, modern infrastructure, investment funding, urban local, and research in incentive institutes. Startup hubs also plays a crucial role in developing innovation solutions to address uncertainty in marketplace. Next slide. I will be explaining on the characteristics and the criteria of a startup hub. Startup hub is actually acts as a customer. It is also a host for outsiders and warm, welcoming environment. Startup hub also acts as a connector. According to Nayan, a startup hub also needs to have a long-term strategy. Startup hub also need to have enough and ready available funds. And it grows its talent by having strong ties with universities, research institutes, and these research institutes and universities are supported with necessary resources from the required technology graduates and students. Okay, here we actually have three competitors for startup Amsterdam hubs. First one will be Hug Startup, Utrecht Startup, and the last one will be Handover Startup. Hug Startup, the startup features as a government support, entrepreneurship interest, efficiency in infrastructure, incubator and co-working place, and academic institute. Secondly, Utrecht Startup, the hub works as a talent diversity, available for funding. It is also a great place for co-working spaces, accelerator, and incubators. Third and last will be the Endoven Startup Hub, which features are entrepreneur and accelerator, co-working space, the crowdfunding culture, and it has academic institute for talent, and top qualified infrastructure. I would like to pass the floor to Bhavya for the next slide.
Hello. In this slide, we will be looking into the framework for the evaluation of successful startup. Based on the analysis of successful startup, we have developed this framework. This helps us to know whether the hub in the local or the globally, it is successful or not. These are few success criteria we need to consider. And when it comes to the feature, these are the features: the market. In terms of the market, innovative product and services produced in startup hub has a readily available always, like internationally and also the locally. When it comes to the finance and the capital, a startup hub has accessible funds in terms, so it has a good flow of capital when it helps to their customers. And moving to the talent, a startup hub attracts skilled talent and develops its talent through the academic and research institutions. And when it comes to the technology, there is the advanced technological infrastructure that fosters innovation efficiently. And moving to the market connectivity, a startup hub has a strong and reliable relationship with the global market and also the local community as well. Moving to the last feature, which is government policy and regulation. There are favorable government policies and regulation that encourages and protects the innovation. Moving to this slide, when we apply that framework to the startup Amsterdam hub and also the remaining competitors, we can see how the market, finance, talent, and the technology market connectivity in terms of their successful criteria. When we see the market in terms of startup Amsterdam, it shows that the hub does not have a readily available market locally, but it is available globally. And when it comes to the Hague, Utrecht, and Eindhoven, local market is limited. Moving to the finance, when it comes to the startup Amsterdam, there is enough fund to support new business. And moving to The Hague, there is a growing interest from entrepreneurs and venture capitals from the Europe side. When it comes to the Utrecht startup, there are a considerable number of investors in Utrecht Startup Hub. When it comes to the Eindhoven Startup Hub, it has a good capital, and it also have good accelerators as well. Moving to the talent, when it comes to the startup Amsterdam, there is low number of quality technology graduates and students, so there should be a little improvement in terms of the institution and the academic research as well. Moving to the Hague Startup Hub, it has higher academic institution. When it comes to the Utrecht Startup Hub, it always encourages the women into the entrepreneurship. And moving to the Eindhoven Startup Hub, even it encourages all the communities, and it also has academic institutions and good talent workers. Moving to the technology infrastructure towards the startup Amsterdam, it is in the development stage. When it comes to the Hague startup, the infrastructure is very valuable. I mean, the technological infrastructure. When it comes to the Utrecht, it has advancement. I mean, it's in the advanced stage, the technology, when compared to the remaining competitors. And moving to the market connectivity, the startup Amsterdam tend to link up entrepreneurs to relevant and profitable connections. When it comes to the Hague startup, it attracts the people of various backgrounds, hence strong communication or like the connection to the global context. When it comes to Utrecht, has not well established links with the global market as it is connected locally. And it comes to the Eindhoven startup, it is well connected with all the local and global contexts. The next slide will be explaining by my friend.
Hi, I'll be discussing about the competitive advantage associated with a successful startup hub and recommendations to help startup Amsterdam hub to become successful. So firstly, the following are the competitive advantage associated with a successful startup hub. Firstly, a startup hub founder and business communities are likely to experience higher chance of success when they are situated in a successful startup hub. And being a part of successful startup hub will help to enjoy a positive brand reputation. And third point, a successful startup hub is closer to investors and customers who tend to attracted by innovators and entrepreneurial innovation and entrepreneurial ideas. And finally, a successful startup hub helps to attract more skilled and quality talent. And next, moving on to the recommendations to help startup Amsterdam hub to become successful. The first point, Netherlands government needs to open up a procurement mechanism and create a readily available market for the service and product. And secondly, they need to invest more in education and research that will result in the development of talent. The third point, the nation can create welcome programs that attracts ambitious talent from global context. And the fourth point saying advanced technology infrastructure will enhance the connectivity to the other global context. Finally, they need the fifth point, they need to increase the local community involvement. Finally, the startup Amsterdam to improve on its knowledge success, they need to develop an advanced lab that can be used in testing entrepreneurs' service and products for a high chance of being patented. So these are all about startup Amsterdam or about startup Amsterdam. Thank you.